Hey YouTube, how's it going? Blastoise has finally finished, which means now it's time to assemble them. I know a lot of people have been waiting for this, and hopefully this works out well. I'm a little worried. I did some test fits and things sort of fit, but we're gonna make it work anyways. Let's see how this goes. All right, everything's sort of organized by color. We're gonna see how this works out. I've never used this glue before either. This is E6000. I'm hoping there's no issues with this, but again, I've never tried it before, so I'm gonna start getting to assembling the shell part right here. That is the main body for everything. These actually took about 2 rolls of filament and 48 hours each to print. I printed them slower so I didn't have any issues. So let's see if they fit together all right. If you're curious, this square goes in the middle here, and then the other part of it, get in there. The other part of this just hopefully sticks together like that. But as soon as I push this together, it's stuck for good, so I need to put some glue in there before I do that. So let's get her done. See how this works. Just gonna, yeah. Nothing graceful about this. Not that bad. It doesn't smell great. Let's get this assembled. Oh God, that's a strong smell. Come on, you. That'll do it. Just like that, the body's assembled. I'll zoom out just a little bit. For reference, this weighs about 3 to 4 pounds alone. Let's see if I can't get it to press together a little bit more, and then hopefully kind of release that seam. After some slamming on the ground, that's about as good as I can get the seam. I'm just gonna call it good and hope for the best, honestly. I'm not gonna mess around with it anymore. But now we gotta do the back shell. That's the back, right? I believe it is. Okay, there's the front, yeah. I'm gonna start putting these shell pieces in, and then I'll just kind of time lapse that while I do this. Now that the shell's put together, I gotta let it dry. I don't really know what to do. I think I'm just gonna put rubber bands around it and hope. I keep having this piece fall out, so I need to find a way to kind of get them all to stay. Well, maybe that'll work. Hopefully. I don't know how long E6000 takes, but it better not be super long, so I don't want to wait. So I'm gonna let this sit for maybe 30 minutes or so and sort of set up, and then I will come back. So I'll see you in a little bit. All right, so the glue's starting to set. I ended up switching to some PLA gloop. I'm still having some loose parts here. I'm gonna try and fit the cannon holsters in, which are these 2 parts here, and that should help kind of hold these in place, because that's the only part that I'm actually having issues with right now. So I'm gonna put some PLA on the back of these, PLA gloop. God, this thing already weighs like 10 pounds. And then I'm just gonna slip that in there. I think that's the wrong side though, but you get the idea. So I'm gonna do that, and then hopefully I don't have any more slippage. And just slips right in like that. Ooh, ooh, that's bad, but that's okay. I can get that to adhere. This is the hard part about gluing a model. You never know if the glue's working until some part of it falls apart. All right, I'm gonna let that sit for a little bit longer, and then I'll come back and start on the front side of the model. But I'm gonna let that sit for maybe another 30, and then I'll come back. All right, well, I got tired of waiting, and there's some stuff I can do before we get the shell back. So I'm going to start putting the fingers on the arm things, they're just arms. And then I'm going to attach the feet to the legs, And I can also prep the head. So there's quite a bit I can do beforehand while the shell is drying out there. I'm just waiting for that middle piece to still dry up. I'll be using gloop for most of this. E6000 takes way too long to prep. So let's get these attached. I gotta figure out which fingers go where. Nope. Nope. So this finger goes here. Yep, perfect fit. So separate it. Nope. I guess wait just a second. Could be the other one. Nope. Goes with that one. That looks like a good fit. That's a yep. I think I need this one over here. Yep. All right, so there's that arm. Let's just make sure that I printed the right ones. That's a yes. That's a yes. That is a yes. Perfect. All right. Let's get these glued up and then move on to the feet. Now we got to get the feet attached. Get the knees the right way. These are kind of picky on how you get them, so I'm going to come around this side. I'm going to grab these. They look almost identical, but you can kind of see how they line up there, and if you were to swap sides, they don't line up. And that should be an indication of what goes where, but it's not, so we're just going to see. I see a larger side there, which means that is not the right foot. This is the right foot. And it is always a, yep, there we go. So just like that. Now I just need to glue it in, and hopefully it doesn't come apart. Just bumped you guys, sorry about that. The eyes are fairly simple. It is easy to mess this part up because it looks like it should go a very specific way, but every time I do it I get confused. So that's not correct. That is. Right? Okay. There we go. So let's get these glued in the right way. So those are going together. Got to kind of keep pressure on the eye. It likes to slide around. So we're gonna apply pressure on the bottom and top. If you guys want the files to print this guy, I will leave them down in the description. This guy took about 6 days of printing, especially considering I had a couple failures. And there was almost no waste produced besides the failures. But when I printed the smaller shiny version, it took almost no waste and basically no filament besides this 4 or 5 colors. But I think those are good enough. Now let's get the mouthpiece glued on, which is all the way back here. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, just like that. And squeeze. I don't know if it's making contact or not. I'm hoping so. But let's see. Hopefully the audio in this one's a little bit better too. I have a mic attached to me. Oh no. Oh, looks like I didn't use enough. Let's see if it's even making contact. It is making some contact, but not a lot. So I'm just gonna hold this together for a little bit longer. And since those pieces are kind of prepped and out of the way, I will let this dry, maybe glue them up a little more. And then I have the shell outside in the sun right now drying. Well, kind of in the sun, it's just about 85 outside. So I'll be right back, and hopefully we can move on to the attachment of those black pockets over there. Those are what attach all these limbs to the shell. All right, so it's been maybe 30 to 40 minutes since this has been glued and set outside. I ended up pulling it all apart again, wiping most of this off and just switching to ABS gloop, and it worked like a charm. So hopefully I don't have any more issues. I haven't noticed any slipping or rocking since I put it on. It's still drying, but it seems to be holding up a lot better than the E6000 was. And I think my problem with the E6000 is that I either use too much of it or I overestimated its capabilities for drying. I was assuming it'd be quick. It says 24 hours on the package, up to 72 to set. I don't have that kind of time. So I'm gonna hopefully flip this over without any issue and start gluing on either the body parts or the connection pieces. I think the connection pieces will be last because they fit very specifically. So I'm gonna move right onto these, and these should fit fairly simple. I mean, it's just line them up, knock them down. Make sure everything fits right before I start gluing it. You only get one shot, really. Using gloop, that is. So that should fit just fine. Set that over here. And I'm gonna start glooping away and see what happens. All right, I gave this time to set up, and I used a little bit of a cheat to get the shell to stick right. Put some on the outside. Hopefully it works without issue. I'm just gonna use a ton of glue right here and hopefully not have any issues. And then I'm running out of gloop here. Still got a lot more to do. And now let's get this stuck right here. And I'll have to kind of hold this in place. Wow, that glues. So this is fun. Once this piece dries, I will come back and we will start putting in the, whatever those black things are called, attachment points, I don't know. All right, this is set. I haven't seen it move at all, so I'm happy there. Time to attach the tail, leg. Two arms are over there. I'm just gonna do the legs and tail first to hopefully kind of help support what's going on right here. So let's get this tail junction glued in. This is really difficult to glue. If you guys can't tell from all of the bloopers that you'll see throughout this has been a massive pain. I don't even know what part just fell out. Part on the back. I'll have to use the little glue trick there, but that's not that big a deal. This is gluing in nicely, so I'm happy about that. I just wish that the rest of it would do the same. That shell on the back's a little bit of a pain. I have had constant issues with it, so here we go. It looks like the tail point is sticking just fine. I'm a little worried about the shell on the back. I would flip it over, but this is the most newest part glued, but the gloop seems to be holding really well. So let's flip this. I'll show you the same trick I used on the back for this part right here. All I did was take this gloop and run it along the seam here. Doesn't look the best, but at the end of the day, you want it to not move, and this causes that not to happen. Just gonna run that bead along there. Clean this up a little bit, and then I'll be able to torch it at some point to help it kind of dry in place, but let's try and get these leg pieces glued in as well. They do go a specific way. That's probably the wrong side. Just like that. Okay, let's get this one glued in real quick. all of this makes me nervous. Oh, please don't fall. All right. Now I'm gonna let that dry, and then I will come back after that is all, hopefully what I think to be dry. All right, all the other stuff seems to be mostly dry, if not all the way dry. So I'm gonna try and fit these arm cups in here. That's not the right way. I think that's the wrong side. Let's try the other one. Whoever made this model did a good job making sure parts fit together. I'll link it down in the description like I said before. Hopefully the link works. YouTube's been kind of weird about it, so I'll try my best. But let's get this arm port glued in. That is all glued together. Now it's just time for the body and the cannons, and that should be fairly simple once these all glue together. Hopefully I don't have any more issues. But I'll be back when this is dry. That looks fantastic. All right, I have everything pre-positioned right here to connect to the body. Hopefully I have enough gloop in here. I'm thinking I do to finish this off, but we'll see. I'm hoping this goes pretty smoothly. Sure seems to be. Well, I have him standing, I think. I'm afraid to pick him up, but it looks right. So hopefully that works. It's kind of hard to glue the legs on there, but it seems like I have him in the right spot. He is sitting flat. So hopefully they're making good contact. That's the only thing I'm worried about, is him not making contact. All right, getting prepped to glue the arms on here. Need more gloop though. That should be a good amount. All right, I think I'm gonna move on to the head now and hope that it sticks without issue. The head's pretty heavy, so I'm hoping I'm able to glue it without any problems, but it's probably the heaviest part other than the body itself. The head seems to be on there fairly straight and good. It's not falling, so that's something. And now I'm going to move on to the tail. This is going to be kind of difficult from this angle, but hopefully it's not too much of a problem here. That looks about right. Looks wrong, but it's right. All right, now it's time to glue the cannons on here, and this is actually the last thing before he's done, and then we'll check his weight, and then I'll show him compared in size to my little Frenchie. Kind of melted the white plastic together there. I might paint over it a little bit just to kind of hide the burn marks of the plastic, but that's okay. Let's weigh him and see how much he weighs. All right, so I have a scale here. I'm gonna set him on, and then I'll grab you guys and show you his actual weight. So now that he's on there, let's take this. Yep. Take you around. Oh, you haven't even seen this yet. It's going the wrong direction, isn't it? What does that say? 10 pounds? Yeah, that looks like 10 pounds, right? Half of 20 would be 10. He weighs 10 pounds. So let's put you back in here. You can see my little Frenchie asleep down there. I'm gonna grab him next and then put him next to him for size. All right, let's grab my little Frenchie Finn. Come here, buddy. Oh, come here, you. Yip, 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 yip. Yip, 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 yip. Ah. Oh, good boy. Sit, sit. Sit, sit. You're a good boy. Yeah. So there's my Frenchie for a size comparison right there. They're about the same size, his sitting, but Finn's got 10 pounds on him. But as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know which shiny Pokemon or normal Pokemon I should add to this pool right here. And there's one more thing missing in the video that is in every one of my videos. That is Mr. Ducky. Thanks. Good boy, Finn. You're a good boy.